So you're finally ready to tackle multi-step problems. Now, if you're watching this video, hopefully what this means is that you already have all of your individual properties mastered and you understand how those work. Now we're ready to tackle problems that have more than one step and they use more than one property. Now, to help us get through these problems, we have 5 simple steps that we can follow to help us make sure that we get these problems simplified as much as they possibly can. So, step number 1. We are going to change all of our radicals into powers. So what I mean by that is if you see a radical, you should change that to become an exponent. That's always the first step. Change your radicals into powers. Now, step number 2. We are going to eliminate any parentheses. So if you see like xy to the power 4, you better get rid of those parentheses by, remember, we kind of distribute this exponent there. That would be the next step. Step number 3. Move any negative exponent. So if you see x to the negative 2, you better take that and remember we move it to the opposite side of the fraction bar and make it positive. Step number 4, we're going to simplify our coefficients next. Now, coefficients are just the number that are in front of variables. So if you have like 4x divided by 2y, we want to simplify these coefficients, which are just the whole numbers in front of our variables. Step number 5 is use your product and quotient rules. So remember, our product rule is if we have like x to the power 3 times x to the power 4, we're going to add those exponents. And our quotient rule is if I have x to the power 3 over x to the power 4 as a fraction, I subtract those exponents and write the leftover where the larger exponent originally was. So, I know it's kind of hard to visualize these steps since we haven't done a problem yet. But before we can really do a problem, we have to know, okay, how am I going to know that I'm done with these problems? So your final answer should only have one number, meaning one coefficient. And your final answer should only have one of each variable. So it should only have one x, only one y, only one a. You should never have 2 of the same variable left in your final answer. And then lastly, your answer should have no, and see it's in capital letters, but it should have no negative exponents. If you try to hand in a CFA and the final answer has a negative exponent, it's going to be wrong. Your final answer should never have negative exponents.